Drawing white on white is actually not as difficult as you really think. So drawing this kind of white fur, there's a lot of different colors that are actually involved. So you're going to be using quite a lot of some warmer colors, such as like lighter creamy ivory colors, as well as some light grays, whether it be cold grays or warm grays. You're going to be using a mixture of both, and that is how you actually start to draw white fur. So working out this section here, now I am drawing a smaller size, so it is going to go a little bit faster paced, but I've already started kind of drawing more of the shaded areas using a light cool gray kind of color. And what I mean by cool tones are usually like blues or more of like the greens, the blues, and the purples are cool tones, and then warm tones are more of the reds, orange, and a little bit of some like yellows, those kind of things. So that is actually what I mean by when I'm saying cool tones or warm tones. So most animals that have blonde fur or white fur, they do have different kind of coloring throughout. So these ears right here are actually more have kind of like that brown orange color. And then I also started to incorporate a little bit of some gray. That way it kind of blends in with the rest of the portrait. Now pay attention to the highlights too. The highlights and then the lowlights, which are the darker features. Those are really, really important when it comes to drawing with lighter fur. Now I do cheat, quote unquote, cheat a little bit by using that Gamsol mineral spirit oil, which you can download my materials list and get access to that. But it's really, really helpful because it helps to kind of spread that coloring out without applying too many layers, because you really don't want to apply too many without it getting a little bit too dark, because with blonde fur or white fur, it can get a little bit too dark if you start adding too many layers. So I just kind of spread it out a little bit, and I use more of those light ivory raw umber colors, and I'm using the Faber-Castell Polychromo series as well as the Caran d'Ache Luminance series. So that does help between the two to kind of make a nice blend of different kind of colors. And if you're kind of curious what kind of colors and color pencils that I like to use, you could definitely check out that materials list. It's a PDF file, so you could just download it immediately after purchase. And yes, there's a lot of darker features too, so you definitely want to emphasize on that, but just be mindful of how dark you are going. Now, there's definitely different darker areas depending on the sections, like the muzzle area, and then right around the eyes, like the eyebrows are really, really important. So you kind of want to incorporate that feature, and just think about like where the actual texture and then the tones and where the bumps are a little bit raised in some of these areas. That way you can kind of get the definition of where the mouth is supposed to be, where the muzzle is supposed to be, all of those features. You just want to incorporate like a very light kind of pattern using lighter colors to begin with. Now, if it gets a little bit too dark, don't worry. All you have to do is just kind of use a lighter color pencil, like a white one, and just go back over it with that lighter color pencil. What's nice about drawing these kind of animals is there really isn't a whole lot of color that you have to incorporate ultimately, so you don't have to worry about applying so many gosh darn layers. there's a lot of layers when it comes to drawing black fur or dark brown fur, but with white fur, all you have to do is just make sure you have good definition in some of these features, so you can really see that it's lighter on the left side and darker on the right side. That's really helpful when it comes to drawing realistic, because you gotta have a sense of direction where the lighting is coming from. Most reference images have a sense of direction. Sometimes it's just straightforward, and so really you just kind of focus on the highlights and the lowlights as much as possible, even if it is just facing forward. But if you've got some lighter definition on one side and then darker on the other side, it makes the portrait look really, really beautiful ultimately. And then the face usually takes longer than the actual rest of the body. So be mindful of that too when you're drawing the whole portrait. You just know that it's going to take a lot longer for the face than the rest, like the neck area. And that's pretty much it. You really don't have to do a whole lot in terms of definition. Just kind of darken some of those features up. You can use different darker pencils. Just be mindful of how dark it's gonna get. But I really hope that this video was helpful. Please don't forget to comment down below. What is your favorite part about this animal here? Is it the coloring? Is it the lighting? Is it the fluffiness? What is it about it that you like the most? And don't forget to like and subscribe. You can also check out the links below if you want to learn to draw your own pet. I've got a whole program involved in that too. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to watch the rest of my other videos if you want to learn to draw.